Any interview with Brad qualifies for Best Interview Short Form. Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get on. Get it on. Thanks for tuning in. We love that about you, right, Brad Williams?
That's right. And I'm not even offended at that joke. I'm not. Solid joke. And the short film Oscar, it's still an Oscar.
Yeah.
You can still you can still put on your shelf, and then when people walk in, they go, "Oh my God, you have an Oscar?" Yeah.
The award is the same size.
It should be a shorter Oscar, though.
It should.
Because
it should
there's
be like
always
those,
that.
Yeah.
Because they do that, and not just for shorts, but for best foreign short, best set decorations.
They do that with the Emmys.
Best hair and makeup. Because someone's going to walk in and go, "Oh my God, you have an Oscar? What's it for?" And then you're going to go, foreign short in Greek, and they're going to go, yeah.
Best foreign language film that actually was posted on TikTok. That's how I got my Oscar.
Make it shorter. Brad's got dates coming up. St. Louis Helium Comedy Club. That'll be tonight through Saturday. And then Royal Oak, which is beautiful over there in Michigan. Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle. And you just go to bradwilliamscomedy.com. All right. I got an idea. I have a solution. I have a problem.
And a solution.
What
do you need us for then?
That's true. Well, you can tell me or enhance my solution.
Okay.
Yet again, another story of some teenage chick standing in the bathroom at a YMCA. On the lady side, walks out of the shower fully naked and sees the dude and his hog swinging around. I don't know what that was. Swinging around inside of it.
Popped a beer.
I know. Somebody likes this.
That was a mic cable.
Oh, okay.
Because there's an issue. Now, there's going to be an issue. I've told you guys, same thing happened with the Wii Spa. Everything gets politicized. But if you say, look, you can bring a dog with you on your commercial airline flight if you truly need it, but we're on the honor system, then it takes 10 minutes for all the fucking whack jobs and the sociopaths and the narcissists to start traveling with their dog for free.
Yes.
That's how our system works. I don't like it. It's sad. I don't think it would have happened 100 years ago, but we're here.
Yes. And I feel like as a comedian, we can summarize where we are in society if you do a merchandise line. If you do a merch meet and greet, you will see exactly where we are as a society.
Yes.
I do a meet and greet after every show. It's a free meet and greet. I don't have to do it, but I do it because I want to thank the fans for coming and also make a little money selling some T-shirts. And I've had people start to come up to the front of the line. There's clearly a line.
Yes.
Going down, and I usually get through the line in about 45 minutes. That's about how fast I get through the line. There is a line, and I've had people walk up, cut in front of everyone in the line, and go, "But I just want to take a picture."
Yes, every time, everywhere.
The best one I've ever heard. This was at the airport, and it was one of those situations where the line was back up. It's just a crazy line checking it at LAX. Someone rushed right to the front of the line. The whole line groaned like, "Hey, what the fuck?" The person looked back and said, "You don't understand. I have to go somewhere." And we're all just thinking, "Oh, right. Because it's Thursday and we just love being at the airport at 5:30. That's what we like to do."
Yeah, if you put it that way.
Yeah. Oh, you have to be somewhere. So sorry, Your Highness.
But it's them, and that's the whole point. And we're in some sort of narcissistic era, and we can't rely on the golden rule or people's dignity anymore. So if you say you can use the ladies' shower and locker room and bathroom if you identify as a female. Now, you no longer have to cut your man parts off. You just identify, and then you can go hang out there. Well, obviously, this has led to a rash of dudes hanging out there. But I have a solution. But we have the story first, I think, Dawson.
Well, we have the video. So this is Rebecca Phillips, 17 years old, Santee, California, which is in San Diego County.
Oh, 17. So at least she's underage too.
Right.
So,
God.
So this is just a little bit of her speech here. to city
2
council.
weeks ago, after finishing my shift at my job, I went to the gym to swim laps. As I was showering after my workout, I saw a naked male in the women's locker room. I immediately went back into the shower, terrified, and hid behind their flimsy excuse for a curtain until he was gone. I ran into a bathroom stall to change as quickly as I could, organizing my thoughts to share with the people at the front desk. As I did so, I could only think of my 5-year-old sister, who I bring to this gym during the summer to enjoy their water slides. When I asked the YMCA management what their policy was regarding transgenders, they confirmed that the man that I saw was indeed allowed to shower wherever he pleased. As long as you are not a red flag on Megan's Law, when my dad spoke to the sheriff's office, they told him that he should never allow me to shower there ever again.
The sheriff.
The YMCA wouldn't let my father speak to the manager of the Santee branch. After waiting several days, he finally received a call from Terry Moss, who is the director of membership for San Diego County. She informed my dad that I was not in any danger at the time of the incident, that I was safe.
Yeah.
All right. So you fucking whack jobs who are trying to hijack what used to be a society are fucking everything up. And I know everyone is freaked out because no one ever wants to be called homophobic or transphobic or racist or whatever, and they hide behind that. But people need to start piping up.
I have their the YMCA statement.
Okay.
Too. Yeah, and it's
I'm sure it clears it up completely.
They believe in.
Here's the first sentence. We are aware of a situation involving 2 members in the locker room of the Santee YMCA.
Well, 3 members if you count his member.
Earlier this month, the comfort and safety of all of our members is our highest priority. As a community-focused organization, we strive to meet the needs of all individuals.
Well, all right.
This is a long way of saying, I have a black friend, I can't be racist.
Right.
This is the long version of that.
This is much more professional. We recognize that birth and gender identity are sensitive subjects. We rely on subject matter experts, laws, and guidelines established by the state of California to ensure our policies.
Yeah.
Who are the experts?
Nobody's an expert. The homeless experts, the COVID experts, the transgender experts, they're fucking activists. They're not experts. Barbara Ferrer is not an expert at anything. She's an activist. All the homeless experts are not experts. If they were fucking experts, after spending $6 billion, they'd put a dent in the problem.
Yeah.
That's what experts do. If I'm an expert at running your factory more efficiently and you give me $6 billion, I'll get it running 8 to 12% more efficiently than the last quarter.
I'm sure there was an expert that said, I'm a transportation expert. I'll put up this bullet train, no problem.
Right. We have experts, and then they weigh in, but they're fucking activists. But a couple things, and then I have a solution.
Okay.
One is, what is the damage that would be done psychologically to the dude with the cock and balls and hairy chest and beard from going into the male locker room? Why would that be so depleting to him emotionally? Now, he could think of himself as a woman.
Yep.
Fine. Legitimate.
Yep.
You think of yourself as a woman. Fine. Then you are a woman with cock and balls who gets to stand around in shower stalls with other dudes with cocks and balls. Like how, and you've been doing that your entire life. You're now 41. How emotionally scarring would that be versus pushing you and your cock and balls in with the teenage girls who are naked? Right. What is more emotionally scarring? And it's your fucking decision. Suck it up. You chose to think of yourself as something other than what you were born, the gender you were born, and then you chose to go to the YMCA. So now, isn't this sort of on you? I don't know. Do the towel and do it up to your chest. Yeah. Don't do the dude towel around the waist. Do the fucking weird tuck up to the top.
And certainly don't go fully nude. Because you have to understand, like, if there was...
I'm saying on the male side. If you're going on the male side and you feel that fucked up about it, then pull it all the way up and put some trunks on.
If there was a YMCA that said, hey, this is the male locker room, this is the female locker room, this is the we punt dwarves locker room.
Yes.
I would try to avoid the We Punt Dwarves locker room because of how it would make me feel, and it would make other people want to just punt a dwarf.
Well,
so whether I don't even if that was the nicest locker room, what if that's the nicest one and I want to be a part of it? But if it says punt a dwarf locker room, I'm not going in.
I don't want to shoot holes in your story, but if you chose the non-punting locker room, then you would miss seeing me stretching because somebody's got to do the punting. It's not all dwarves. Somebody's got to kick those damn dwarves, and I'm your man.
And I can't believe we have to say this for a story like this, but I feel like we should. We're like there are times when it's like, okay, I get it. You have lived a life that is probably very difficult. I don't know what your situation is in terms of how you identify. I'm not going to pretend that I do. But there are extremes in these circumstances that we can probably all as a society agree, okay, but not that.
Well, the question is, first off, how many people, it's the same ratio, how many people really actually must travel with a dog, like a seeing eye dog or whatever dog, versus those who would like to travel with their dogs for free? And then how many people actually have a disorder, a gender dysphoric disorder, who are at the Y, versus dudes who think it'd be a pretty cool idea to go hang out with the titties in the vagine.
Yeah.
It's the same number, it's the same ratio, and so we're going to end up in the same place. But I still have an invention.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. The only way to really work out the service dog situation is you must go to like an accredited doctor, you must get your dog certified, and then you get a vest. The dog gets a vest, and it's got a number on it, and it's licensed and bonded.
It says, do not pet.
Yes, and it's not on one of those 26-foot retractable leashes. It's if your dog has a handle on it, that is a service animal.
Yes.
Like blind people used to have. I miss the dog with the handle.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember the handle dog?
Hard handle.
Hard handle.
I love it because as a little person, I would look at the dog with a handle like, oh, that's my rodeo.
Oh, yeah. You're like one of those monkeys on a sheep.
Yeah. I think it's called mutton busting, and that's just what I do.
You could definitely fucking break that bronc.
Absolutely. I've been watching enough Yellowstone. Listen, I'm not going on the actual bull or the horse, but if you give me an ornery German Shepherd with one of those handles,
that handle, oh man,
strap me up, put on a cowboy hat, let's go. Come on, ESPN 8 the Ocho. Let's have dwarf mutton busting.
Yeah, I would watch the shit out of that. Yeah, right now I got to watch pickleball at 4 a.m. I would watch dwarf mutton busting.
Come on, let's go.
So, if in fact you have this gender dysphoric disorder, you must then talk to a certified doctor, get your paperwork in order, and get a vest. Okay. And once you put that vest on, then you could walk into the ladies' locker room, because it wouldn't just be like what happened at We Spa or happened here, which is a dude going, identifies, go to the left, and he'd go in. And then you would have a context, because all the chicks just see the dude walking around with his hog hanging out.
They see naked man.
They wandered in. You saw that orange vest with the service transgender sticker on it with the date, like if you want to go in the diamond lane here. And you'd see that. Now, she would have opened the curtain and seen a dude, but she would have had immediate context. She'd be like, that guy's certified. He's pre-operation, not post-op. He's pre-op, but he's certified. Give it a context and let him walk around with that shit. And not just in the locker room. All day, every day. I'm talking work. I'm talking about public transportation. We need to know who you are. But then you could walk into the ladies' room at work, or you could use the ladies' room on the subway. But this is your vest. You've been vetted. You've been certified. Put it on, tranny.
See, now Bald Brian's not here, so I feel like someone has to shit on the point.
All right.
Please.
My only fear is with the constant... if they wear it everywhere, not just the bathroom, is that then that is the identifying symbol for someone who is not as tolerant and can see the person and then start with the making fun or even worse,
Well,
physical assault.
you probably wouldn't want to head out to Sylmar or South Central, but you'd be the toast of WeHo.
I mean that's very true. You'd probably get free drinks.
And at some point, I'll shoot holes in my own point. At some point, an underground bootleg MacArthur Park illegal guy, you'd go down there and he'd want to sell you a vest and a Vax card,
and
an ID.
Just
and you just
everything.
go, give me all of it.
Combo pack, yeah.
Let's do a suicide. I want it all. And then you'd go get your bootleg vest down at MacArthur Park.
But I think it's a good start, like you said. So the female who comes out and sees the cock and balls goes, okay. Because all she has is there's a naked man in front of me.
Right.
And she's probably an ally. She's probably on your side.
But she's scared.
But she
she's
doesn't know
startled.
because us cisgendered a-hole men have made her feel unsafe in her life. So she sees a naked dude. That's her immediate thought is, ooh.
Hold on.
Okay. Are we adding to this?
We're adding.
Okay. This is like Ronco. But
This is
wait,
big.
there's more. Order your vest now. And what else is Adam Carolla throwing in?
The name. Transvestite. Boom. We had the space in between the trans and the tight.
That's good. This would definitely solve the problem, and certainly an early front runner for invention of the year.
I mean,
now, I have
what beats this?
A question with it. Now, obviously, the woman sees the guy in the orange vest. She's immediately going to feel safe because he is not a threat. But there is a certain amount of demasculizing, I think, that needs to take place with this vest, because the naked dude in the YMCA locker room is just going to put on this orange vest and be like, yeah, I'm just like the guys working on the highway. I'm still a man. This is to catch those people who are really dudes, just want to show their junk.
Well,
it needs to be a pink.
We vetted. I'm sorry, Dawson, but it's been vetted.
I have a solution.
You
for this,
have to
Dawson.
go to a board-certified physician and get the vest.
Okay, so you don't need nibble clamps on the vest.
No. Dawson.
Come on,
Okay.
Dawson. You're making a mockery of what a very
Dawson.
good idea.
It's a great.
I have a
I
solution.
can see that this idea would solve every problem.
No.
Go on.
I get it. Doesn't have to be pink. Here's the solution. Okay? And now you get to capitalize on companies that want to be woke and that want to be on the right side of history. We sell sponsorships on the vest that make a woman see that vest and go, that is clearly someone who identifies as female. You have a Discovery Plus logo.
Yeah.
You have a 90-Day
She's
Fiance
gonna go,
logo.
That's a pre-op dude who's transitioning. And
Yes.
I might want to think about getting into crypto, because that'll be her thoughts, because we'll sponsor it.
Right.
I'll take it a step further.
Yeah. Now you can't have NFL team logos.
No.
You can't have the number of your. You can't have LeBron James's number on that, because
No.
that's clearly an identifier of wait. Now I'm not feeling as safe. If you have a UFC thing, maybe not.
Maybe Golden Palace. I don't know if they're still around. The point is, now here is my Ron Popeil.
Okay.
But wait, we're not done yet.
We're not done yet.
The vest. If you ever see those like Hurt Locker type movies with the bomb squad guy, they have the shrapnel vest they put on. It's got the collar. It's also got the nut guard that drops down in front of it.
It does have a
the
nut guard.
vest could have a cock and nut flap that just
a
dropped.
flap.
Just a flap that just dropped down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
And
maybe
it could
there's
have
not.
a picture of the vagina on it.
now
Then when you
redemption.
see it.
Yes,
Like, yes,
now
no cock
Dawson,
and
you're
balls.
back. That's right.
You're identifying as female. You probably want that out there. You don't want the cock and balls because that's not the equipment you feel that you are and that you should own. And we're not talking a whole jock strap that's all uncomfortable
Just a
on you.
flap
It's a
that falls.
flap.
It's a forward flap.
It's a flap.
It's nothing more, nothing less.
Do we have that drop of you with a certain phrase that says flaps in it, Dawson?
Yeah, flaps. All right, so now problem solved.
Yeah,
We've covered
we
the
did
junk with the flap. We have the registered vest.
Okay.
And that's it. Now, once we register you the vest, you now have 13 calendar months to get the operation.
Because
I cannot have you just gallivanting around locker rooms for the next decade in this fucking vest.
It's like a registration
You want the
sticker
vest,
on
you
it.
get the vest, we'll put the registration sticker on it, and now you have 13 months to go under the knife.
So the countdown is on.
And you would know that that person is legitimately making
They've
the
been
transition.
vetted. Yes.
Yeah.
I feel, you know what? There are some holes in it, certainly, but I like the concept of you're trying to make everyone feel comfortable.
Yes.
So not the situation you were talking about where it's like, okay, well, if that person goes into the men's locker room, what's the effect of that versus if they go into the women's locker room and then they get discovered? Who gets hurt the most?
Right.
What are the effects? This is an underage woman walking around a locker room. She should feel safe. And if you truly do identify as a female, you should feel safe too. I think the vest does this.
And also would be a point of pride in a little Haley's Comet. Like she would have a good story when she returned.
Yeah.
Hey, I saw a transvestite. And there he had the flap over. Rarely seen in the wild.
It's a conversation piece.
It's a conversation piece.
I think it is.
Yeah.
And I think it is.
I think we have a clip of a Minnesota State Rep, Sandra Feist. I think the vest would also work at the in the public school system as well. She's going to explain why we need
already
this vest.
looking at her. I have a feeling what side of the aisle she is on and what her argument's going to be.
All right.
Encourage the committee to vote no on this amendment for a few reasons. Practical, financial, social, emotional. First, there are a lot of schools that are moving towards gender-neutral bathrooms, and if we add female, we might become obsolete very quickly. Second, not all students who menstruate are female. We need to make sure that all students have access to these products. There are obviously less non-female menstruating students, and therefore their usage will be much lower, and that was actually calculated into the cost of this and how much we decided to fund it. And so we do not expect that the non-female menstruating students will use these products as much as the students using female bathrooms, but it's important to have them there. And that brings me to just the social emotional reasons for that. These students who are not female, who menstruate, face a greater stigma and barrier to asking for these products, and so providing them in an easily accessible place in all student bathrooms is particularly important for those students.
Yeah, we got a lot of non-female menstruators out there. I would just love to reanimate John Wayne and Charlton Heston and go, this is where we're at.
This is where we're at.
It's 2023.
Now, call me crazy. So she's talking about the stigma of people. I'm trying to get everything lined up in my head.
It's fine.
Of people who identify as male, but they born female.
Yeah.
Right.
So they do menstruate, but there's a stigma of them having to go into the female bathroom, I guess.
No,
is that what they're saying?
The male bathroom. So
the male bathroom.
Yeah, so she's introducing what she calls the menstrual equity bill, which provides all students access. I know, it's a great name. To provide all students access to menstrual products at the bathroom. So she wants menstrual products in the boys' bathroom too, because they go in the boys' bathroom, there's nothing for them, and they're menstruating.
Yeah, how about they go fucking buy their own shit?
They bring it from home.
From home.
That sounds good.
Like, is there... In the men's bathroom, I went to high school, we didn't have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich dispenser.
No.
You brought that shit from your own fucking house.
Another invention nominee, DOS. Right there.
I'd vote for that one.
That's how it works.
That's a good one.
Also, I'm with you, Brad. I'm exactly the same as you are, and maybe it's old school, or maybe there's something wrong. Maybe we have some sort of enzyme in our brain or something, but the second they go, well, the male was born a male, now identifies as a female. She went into the bathroom at the Denny's, and then she exposed her male genitalia to the female 7-year-old, and then she began to insert digits into the female. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Now, I'm the person where if you go, How do you frame a house? Well, you get a treated bottom plate, and then you get 2x4, 16 on center, 24 on center. That's layout, double top plate. Then you're going to go with rafters and ridge rafters and hips and valves, shear wall nailing schedule. I can follow it all the way through.
Now you sound like my daughter.
The second you get into the junk part where, the LA Times is trying to write the story about Wi Spa, and then it's like, she went into the female locker room. It's like, she went into the female.
That seems good. That seems all right.
She then exposed her phallus to other women. She has a. I'm immediately lost. I think that's the way they like it. We're trying.
Yes. That's the thing. I'm not dismissing. I'm not doing that. I'm not saying man are man, women are women. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm trying.
Yeah.
But also I'm thinking about the kids. We're like, there's a stigma. It's like, well, what do you think the stigma is about the born female who identifies as male in the men's bathroom now getting a tampon from the men's bathroom?
Yes.
Do you think there's no stigma with that and the fear of other boys walking into the bathroom and witnessing this? Like, to me, this just this creates some problems as well. I wanna run for some office.
Yeah.
My campaign slogan is "Handle your shit."
Yes.
Okay.
You have my vote.
Handle your shit. Is this your shit? Does this affect you? Cool. Handle it.
Agreed.
We'll help you, but handle it.
All right.
Have some personal responsibility.
I got another thought here. I'm missing my Tommy John, but I don't know.
Oh, cool. Well, if you're not wearing Tommy John,
Tommy John ad.
you're missing Tommy John.
I am wearing my Tommy John
because let me tell you, Tommy John is most comfortable, the greatest pair you'll ever wear.
Breathable, lightweight fabric.
Yeah.
I think over 17 million units sold. By the way, they got a Valentine's Day themed offer going on. They don't, so you should get on it. Over 20 million pairs sold, and like I said, look good for your honey bunny in your drawers this Valentine's Day with Tommy John. No risk, by the way. Every gift is backed by the best pair you'll ever wear, or it's free. Guaranteed. And let's not forget about the Valentine's Day pajamas. Breathable, lightweight, the best. It is Tommy John, right, Dawson?
Get 20% off your first purchase at TommyJohn.com/Adam right now for Valentine's Day. Hurry to TommyJohn.com/Adam for 20% off. TommyJohn.com/Adam. See site for details.
All right. Let's see. We got some Hobo Power to play.
Oh, yeah.
I have a philosophical thought that I think is important. That I think you're going to vibe on this one, Brad, because I know your backstory.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll take a quick break. Be right back with all that right after this.
In celebration of Jim Carolla's upcoming 92nd birthday, here's a list of 92 things Jim Carolla has never done. Number 5. Eaten ceviche. Just one of 92 things Jim Carolla has never done. Let's get back to the Adam Carolla Show.
Yeah, there are two places we had to stay away from inside of a supermarket. There were two things. Anything to do with seafood.
Sure.
Because we got the Chub Pack, a 30% fat ground beef.
Yeah.
And the other thing that was at the Gelson's, which I just went in, going into Gelson's for me when I was 13 was like a hobo walking into Barney's of New York. You know what I mean? I'm just looking at $5,000 bomber jackets, but I'm not buying anything.
Yeah.
But they had the fresh squeezed orange juice contraption. I don't think they have these anymore. Or do they still have these?
Yeah, there's some juice stores that have them. They're like display.
I've seen them because it's a whole. I don't know what the machine is called, but like it's like you follow the track of the orange. It goes down a spiral
up
thing.
Yes.
It puts it up. Hammer comes down.
Very mousetrappy. Cut it in half. Squeeze it. And, you know, it was $7 for a quart, and I would just stare at that shit going, man.
One day.
But I got all the entertainment I need right now because I'm watching this contraption feed oranges down into the fresh squeezer.
Absolutely.
All right, so here's my philosophical thought.
Okay.
and it may have some application for you people listening. It was exceptionally cold out here in the foothills last night.
For us.
Into the 40s. Yeah.
I know.
No, last night probably where I am got into the 30s because this morning about 9, it was 40 degrees at 9 a.m. and the sun was shining. So it had to
If
be.
you're from Wisconsin, that's some good tank top weather.
Yeah, that's summer weather.
That's good.
But it was cold outside and had frost on my synthetic lawn in the back. And I thought, well, I got to get in that swimming pool and do my swim, my morning swim. And it's freezing. And I thought, as I swam over to the deep end, I was just kind of hanging on to the edge, and steam was piling out of my mouth. And I took a nice piss in the pool. So everyone gets uptight about piss in the pool, but piss is 7 ounces, 8 ounces, or whatever. That pool's got like 13,000 gallons. It's not going to make a dent in it, and that's what the chlorine's for. So I just said, I'm taking a whiz. I
So
took
it's
a
your
whiz.
pool.
It's my pool.
Yeah.
And I get to see it come out of my dick because I'm naked. And I look down and I see this weird kind of squid ink kind of. It disperses quickly into a cloud of yellow urine.
Almost like if you were being attacked by a predour.
That's
This would
right.
be your
You're
defense
startled.
That's
mechanism.
what I would do.
Yeah.
And I was just hanging out there, and I thought, how do I think about this activity? And I'm not the world's most disciplined guy, but I never miss a day if I'm sleeping there, and I'll never miss a day with the cold shower or whatever. But a lot of people do. I don't have time, or I don't want to, or it's freezing outside, or whatever it is. And I started thinking about it, and I started thinking in these terms. Because if you do a sort of A or B, like if you go like in the morning, you go, well, I could have a poached egg, or I could have a glazed donut, or I could do this, or I could do that. You know, I could have a salad, or I could have a supersized jumbo burrito, or whatever. If you give yourself an A and a B, you'll make the wrong choice a lot. And if I had to sort of think about it every day, then I would go, oh, it's freezing outside. I'm not doing it. I don't need to do this. It doesn't get me anywhere. I'm not doing it. I realized that I think about it like a handicapped person doesn't think about getting out of bed in the morning if they don't have the use of their legs. So a handicapped person who doesn't have the use of their legs, or maybe you just need to give yourself an insulin injection every day or something, that's just what you do.
That's your routine.
You get up in the morning, the wheelchair's next to bed, you have to kind of push yourself into it. Then you have to wheel yourself into the specially made shower stall. You don't sit there every morning and go, should I walk it into the shower? Should I roll it into the shower? It just is.
Just do.
And if you can get a few of those things in your life,
Yeah.
some of them could be hugging your kids, but but they got to be your own kids, otherwise it gets weird.
Then it gets real weird.
But if you just sort of look at it like the handicapped person gets out of bed and doesn't sit there and struggle with, should I get in a wheelchair? That's what you do. That is, you have no choice. This is self-imposed, but
Sure.
it's still, treat it like your handicapped person getting in that wheelchair in the morning, and it is.
Be like the cripple.
That be like the cripple.
Crip life.
It's not a battle anymore.
No, and that's so my father, God rest his soul, a lot of wise things that he always told me. And he'd have these little sayings he would tell me every day. And I think this applies to this. One of his famous sayings was, you live your life by habits. If your habit is to do the right thing, you don't even have to think about it. You just do the right thing. And I think this is along those lines. The right thing for you is to wake up and take that swim. You don't wake up and have that negotiation with yourself every day of like, oh, do I have to? I am walking a lot today. I'm going to drink a lot of water. Maybe I don't have to do this. You know, you just do. It's what you do every day.
Love that.
Why does the beaver build a dam? Because it's a fucking beaver.
Yes.
That's why. Why does Adam Carolla go in the pool? Because that's what he does. And his penis, as we all know, way too big. He's got to shrivel it up.
Got to bring it down. I
Yeah.
got to get it into the pants at some point and leave the house. I don't want to get caught in the car door when I'm jumping in.
Exactly.
All right. Now we have an intro to Hobo Power. Dawson?
It's time for Hobo Power. Adam Helium's unit of stink measurement.
Beautiful sound. Hear the mighty rush of the engine. Hear them lonesome hobos call.
You give us your stink story. And we'll rank the funk.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to rank them 0 to 100.
Okay.
0 doesn't smell bad at all. 13 is a robust fart.
Love that. Robust.
30 is whoever smells it, to get to 30, you got to yak.
Yeah.
You got to throw up, even if it's just in your mouth.
Okay, so
We need some of that.
if
This
it's
is a tough scale.
if it's a like if it's that.
You got to bring a little something up.
Okay.
A little bow.
Okay.
50 is a cat that's been fed nothing but blue cheese for a week, defecating on a white-hot hibachi. That's 50.
That seems like the top.
That
and the
description's
plume
close
that
to a
comes
30.
off it.
Yeah.
And then 100 is purely theoretical, like absolute 0, because 100 Hobo Power, it would cause death.
Yeah.
So
Can't do it.
It's like a black hole.
no man has ever
Don't-
told the
yeah.
tale
Don't
of
think
100.
Don't think you're gonna get there. Don't be like, I got one that's gonna be 98. You're not.
Right. All right.
Just understand that.
Yeah.
Lower your expectations. I had one of these recently, and I'm very curious. We went on a little family trip. Me and my wife, the baby, and this particular hotel allowed dogs. So I was like, all right, get to bring the pit bull. Cool. Brought the pit bull. Now in this particular reaction, we went to a friend's house. They didn't want the dog in the house. No problem. Your house, your rules. I will respect it. So Diego, the pit bull, stayed
Because
in the
it was a
hotel
pit
room.
bull?
No, just because it was a big dog. They don't like dogs. Just dogs that shed.
Okay.
That was their thing.
Okay.
So I said, no problem. Diego stayed in the hotel. And because, as we all know, it's been chilly, and then we were in San Diego, it was raining a lot. It was chilly. So we put on the heater. We were gone. 4.5 hours. Came back. Diego had an accident. And this is not what he normally does. He's a great dog. He does it twice a day, once in the morning, once at night. Well, he must have eaten something. And he did shit in the hotel room while the heater was going for about 4.5 hours. And he's a pit bull. So this wasn't rabbit pellets.
Carpet? Did he carpet or tile?
This was on the bed.
On the bed.
On the bed.
Wow.
Yeah.
On the bed.
On the bed. We had two beds, and yeah, he was on. Yeah, so we slept on the other one that night.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that the heat is always a factor.
Yeah.
And Diego's stout, so that's something too.
I will add one more item. When we got off the elevator, my wife and I looked at each other and went, "Oh no."
Wow.
We got off the elevator.
It's bad,
It was bad.
but it's your dog.
True.
And for that, I can't get you above a 19.
Oh.
Because
Okay.
it is your dog.
Now, does the score change if you were walking into the hotel room?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yes, I'm a big celebrity.
Because I agree. I agree. My dog, I know his smell. I know his scent. It's like you invite someone over and they walk in your house and go, "Oh, what's that smell?" And you don't
They don't
smell it.
smell it, yeah.
Because you're in it every day.
You're
Right.
accustomed to it.
Yeah, it's whatever you're cooking.
Yeah, whatever
Right.
my house smells
Yeah,
like. You
whatever
would
your
hate.
house smells like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have the stranger test. What do you think the score would be for the stranger coming in?
I'd only bump it up 3 to 4 points. You know,
Okay.
I might get you in the low 20s.
You know what? I'm proud of that.
it's solid.
It's
double digits.
If 30, you must vomit. We did not vomit, but it was definitely one of those where your face tightens up because you somehow feel that that's blocking the smell. It doesn't, but you just kind of go "Ugh," like you're just kind of like grinning and bearing it. So yeah, I will accept that. I think that's a fair score.
And the Hobo Power was originally conceived by me, I think, on Loveline on MTV a million years ago, because people would always say, "Oh, this guy stank to high heaven," or "it was so rank," or whatever. But I was like BTUs, like fathoms, like leagues, like miles per hour. Look, we need to assign numbers to things. We need
whatever
a scale.
the scale is that they use on hot ones for the hot peppers. It's like, all right, how hot is
the
this
Scoville
thing?
scale.
Scoville.
That's what that is.
Matt, 48, Michigan.
Hey there, Adam.
How are you,
Okay,
Matt?
so I'm going to give you a little backstory here. It was 2004. I was in Phoenix, Arizona, and like you always say about the homeless, I was homeless at the time, had a serious heroin and crack problem. And after a night of smoking crack, I had an abscessed tooth blow up in my mouth about the size of, I'd say, about half a racquetball in my cheek.
Oh, what month? What month was it in? It'll factor in with Phoenix.
Okay, I had been homeless for 4 years at the time, and I hadn't bathed for a while either.
What month,
but I went
Matt? Hold on. What month?
I would say April.
All right, wasn't too hot. Okay, all right,
It wasn't the dead of summer yet.
Yeah.
Anywho, I went to the county hospital, tried to have them drain it. They told me there was nothing they could do for me. So I made my way to a McDonald's bathroom where I got my Swiss Army knife out and punctured a hole in my gums and proceeded to drain all of the fluid out into the sink. And then it wafted up from the sink, and I was literally dry heaving. It smelled somewhere between like sulfur and rotting flesh.
This, by the way, where I am sort of angry at the businesses that do the restrooms are only for the employees, but part of me is like, hey, my kid's got to take a piss. But the other part is I get where you're coming from.
Because you don't want this guy coming in.
This is the reason.
This is the reason.
Hey, I'm glad you have beat your addictions, or you're still living with them, or you're controlling them. That's fantastic.
Almost 19 years clean, man.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
I got sober shortly thereafter.
Great for you, and good for you for starting that My Pillow company.
Yeah. I love that guy.
Good for you.
I always laugh when I see that commercial because Mike Lindell, he always goes, they're trying to cancel me and My Pillow. And I thought, people who see this out of context are going to go, what are they doing with your pillow?
What's your pillow do?
What about your dust ruffle or duvet? Like,
you understand, just because My Pillow is into some kiddie porn.
Then you had to sit around and go, did he kill his wife with a pillow? Like, why are they canceling his pillow?
It's a weird sentence.
So, Matt, God bless you. This is almost 20 years ago, but what percentage of people you're living on the street with were, as Gavin Newsom says, the real face of homeless, which is a mother of three working a full-time minimum wage job who just got divorced?
0%. I can tell you I was homeless for 4 years and 9 months, and every single homeless person I met was a drug addict and or mentally ill or some, combination of the two.
20 years ago, and 10 years ago, I was telling fuckstick Gavin Newsom, you can find the clip somewhere, but I told him what the problem was, and I know it's broken record time for me, but how would you possibly fix a problem if you had no idea what caused the problem or what the problem was, whether it's aeronautical, whether it's an engineering situation, or even just
transgenders in locker rooms.
Yeah, just anything. How would you fix this problem if you thought, and it's not like, they do this thing where they go, oh yeah, the majority of the people, I get it, most of them, not most of them, all. Everyone who chooses to sleep outdoors has a mental issue or is a drug addict, or both.
Well, you said it chooses to sleep outdoors.
You choose to sleep outdoors. So, Matt, in your 4 years plus of your homeless travels, you never ran into that unicorn that Gavin Newsom speaks of, the mother of three who's divorced?
No. If you're not a lecher of society, somebody will let you sleep on their couch.
That's what I've said a million times.
And the fact of the matter is, until you get off drugs, you're going to stay homeless. Once you get off drugs, it is a very difficult transition to get back into society because you have a huge gap in your resume. You got some splaining to do,
Right.
and you just gotta, be humble enough to learn from, what you're going to go through and start putting it together one step at a time. So.
To play devil's advocate here, he never ran into the mother of 3 because she was working 5 jobs, Adam, to support those
she's
children.
Busy. Yeah, she's
5
be around.
minimum wage jobs. That's why he never saw her on the street.
Matt,
you insensitive bastard.
Was you doing this in the bathroom sink to your tooth the lowest moment of?
Oh yeah, was this
of
your rock
life?
bottom?
Yeah, was this your rock bottom? Because it certainly is mine. Listening to it.
Well, sucking off that trucker's got to be number 1, right?
No truckers, but that unfortunately wasn't enough for me to say, hey, man, that was bad. I'm going to stop doing dope today. It took me another about 5 months before I finally said, I looked forward at what my life was going to be. I figured God would punish me and make me live another 60 years like that, and I couldn't take it. I broke.
Good.
Good for you for turning your life around,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That being said, you did dry heave over the sink, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was holding the vomit in. Little puke in the mouth.
Okay, if you had puke in the mouth.
But aside from the smell, you still got the taste of that in your mouth. Just trying to rinse it out.
I just
you're
added
wafting the odor up into your own face.
I added 4
It's a
points.
pretty horrible experience.
I'm going to give you a 34.
That's
Matt.
That's respectable.
That may be enough to take it. It really may be.
That's pretty good.
You got Gavin's clip explaining what the real face of homeless picture.
That was my issue, homelessness, and my passionate efforts
Yeah.
to deal with homeless.
I
That's
hate
an
those people.
issue that no one cares about in this
Yeah.
country. I care deeply.
Well, listen, the thing about homeless people is they're either junkies or they're crazy or they're both. This notion of like the guy's a hardworking, God-fearing family member who lost his job and now had to take to the streets is total and utter
Yeah,
bullshit.
but what about the picture of real homelessness, which is a poor mom with 2 kids with a husband who took off and left her, who's sitting there struggling on that minimum wage job, and all of a sudden now is out in the streets and sidewalks desperately trying to find some help, get her life back, can't get those kids into child care.
I think that's what happened to
can't
Jewel.
afford them.
That's
Those are the tough things.
Yeah, that's
and
tough.
that's a picture of family homelessness in this country.
That's a postage stamp.
That's the picture of homelessness, according to
picture
the
of
guy
homelessness.
who's going to solve the problem. It's nuts. Is this crazy?
She probably didn't
what
even have to
times
train her
are we
tooth.
living in? How would we attempt to solve anything with that guy misidentifying? And then also, what is so noble about misidentifying it? Like, why not go, we got a bunch of fucking drug addicts running out there, running around. They
Now
need
we know what
help.
the problem is.
We got to fix
certainly
it.
sympathize
We need to help
there,
them.
too.
Yeah, would we go, oh, you're a bad politician, or I'm not voting for you?
No, he's trying to help people.
Right.
Great.
Why do we have to reshape the problem all the time?
Yes.
It's all fucking drug addicts all the time. Matt, another Matt, 44, Westchester.
Yeah, how you doing, guys?
Hey.
Good.
I would describe this as more of a reflex than a smell. It was called the spooge, and it was one of our weapons for interfraternal warfare.
Back in your college days, huh?
Yeah.
Continue.
We would put anything that would spoil into a spackle bucket. Anything you'd find cleaning out a fraternity fridge. Eggs, milk, cheeseburger patties. Then we'd seal it up and keep it up on the roof to bake and stew all summer. And we'd feed it occasionally. And one year, someone's family had to put down an old rooster on their farm, and he made its way into the spooge.
Oh, man.
Wow.
It's what he would have wanted.
That's where my grandpa went. Spooge bucket.
Neptune Society.
Did everything decompose and sort of liquefy at a certain point, or?
Well, yeah, it would. We would have feed it occasionally.
You would what it occasionally?
We would feed it occasionally,
Feed
like
it,
anything that
okay.
would come across, like catch mice in the basement.
Yeah.
Hang pledges,
Right.
and they would eventually throw up in it.
Right.
Stuff like that.
Oh, God.
so
yeah.
vomit in it.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Nuclear waste.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. 99% of the people listening to this are having a strong physical an emotional reaction, but there's 1% that's getting hard.
Yeah, licking his lips.
And we're talking to you, Tom.
That's right.
It's a Tom. Let's be honest.
So you got the spooge bucket, yeah. Bake in the sun.
So yeah.
And then what would you do? Move it over to a rival frat house and pop the top?
Yeah, so due to some forgotten transgression, we dumped it on a porch from the top of the row.
Wow.
We lived in row homes, which had direct access to a shot of the porch.
And this was on the rival house? This was on the rival fraternity?
Yeah, I wouldn't call them a rival.
Yeah.
We're dear friends.
We're frenemies, yeah.
Now, you do this at the black fraternity, and that's a fucking hate crime right there.
True. Very true.
Oh, man.
So, but who popped the top on it and did the spilling?
One of our brothers, oddly enough, named Matt as well.
Wow, everyone's named Matt. All right, so the bucket itself was nasty, but you weren't fully exposed to it, right?
We fled the scene from the roof and then circled back, and it was brutal. The whole block was filled. People were coming out and getting hit with it. The response was like that of a 3-alarm fire. Campus police kicked it over to the fire department.
Wow.
I think they
Literally
kicked
it. Campus police like, this is not my jujurisdiction.
Oh, man. There's not a hard sprayer with that kind of range for me, but that's a 20-foot range hard spray hose attachment there. Well, Matt, that's good. And the bucket itself is foul. And if the bucket landed on your head, then you'd be walking away with the gold. You know what I mean? Right. But it was a couple stories down. And even though the bucket itself is a definite contender for Hobo Power, you didn't trip while you're running with it and spill it all over yourself and never stop vomiting. So for that, I got to give it a 23. But I like where your head's at, man.
Yeah, it's still warfare.
Yeah, I always tell the story of the shit bucket that was inside of the crazy person's unit when I used to do earthquake rehab, and my coworkers. It's like your colleagues. Yeah, I'm saying it'd be like being in prison and calling the other guy in prison colleagues. You know what I mean? This is fucking wretched, unemployable dickheads. Took this guy's liquid shit bucket and put it in the back by my table saw where I was working outside and hid it. They hid it, they camouflaged it with plywood, and then they got up on the roof. It was a shear wall. They just dropped these bolts we were using for shear anchors. They just would drop it into the shit bucket, and it would splash
activate
up.
Activate
it. And I was fucking working, goddammit. And I was just pushing some knotty pine through my contractor saw. And the bucket was only like 4 or 5 feet away from me, but there's a piece of plywood like leaning. I couldn't see anything. And the apartment building was like a 4-story building. It's a sheer wall. Just goes straight up. So all they had to do...
My skin is tingling
is
right now.
Up there with a fucking bucket of bolts. By the way, this is where your taxpayer money is going, because this was a job for the city of Los Angeles. And the bolts were those bolts that they put on, the nuts. The nuts that they put on the bolts on those square anchor things you see outside of those brick apartment buildings, those square... You see, if you go to an old brick apartment building, you see all those squares on the outside of the building. You guys know what I'm talking about? You have... Oh, no, Chris, I can see. You got no poker face.
I don't.
You don't know what I'm talking about? Brad?
My brain is scrambled because...
You guys...
If I saw it, we're going to look.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about your coworkers who need one more nut. And like, dude, we dropped them all in the shit bucket.
Yeah.
What do we do?
Take it off the building. You guys have seen 1 million times these shear or tension anchors. They're like 6x6 steel plates. They're square, and they're on the outside of every 1930s, 40s brick 20s brick building in Los Angeles and beyond. They're everywhere all the fucking time, and they've been that way.
Throwing up a picture of an old brick building in Los Angeles
since the teens.
All those tension anchors.
Shut the fuck up! You're not even seeing. As a matter of fact, the beginning of Seinfeld, when they show the goddamn interior of his fucking apartment, they have shear anchors on it, and I'm like, they didn't film that in New York because in New York they don't have that because there's no earthquakes.
And you're right, they did film that in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
It's
the
an
exterior of the Seinfeld building.
Oh, they did the I mean, I don't know how. You know that?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
Because I have the Seinfeld DVDs, and they did the extras, and they showed them walking past the building that's in Los Angeles and said,
This is why my life is ruined. This is why my life is ruined, Brad, because I fucking sat around in 1987 going, bullshit. That's got tension anchors or shear anchors. I can't remember if they're shear anchors. Yeah, it's probably what they are. Oh, now we got to see the beginning of Seinfeld.
Yeah.
I don't know. Put shear anchor in the side of a building or just blow it up. Anyway, you fuckers have seen them everywhere all the time because every single building in Los Angeles has been retro.
They're called.
Yeah.
Well, it's been 30 years, but I'm pretty sure they're shear anchors. But they may be tension anchors. I used to put them both in. The point is this. There's a piece of all thread, goes through the building, gets welded on the inside of the building to a piece of continuous strap, which is screwed down inside the building. This is so the floors don't fall off and stack during an earthquake. It's attaching the floors to the outside of the building. Otherwise, earthquake, pop, they'd they'd pancake all the way to the bottom. The bolts, they had a bucket of them up on the roof, and it would just lean over, and they'd wait for me to fire up the saw and get my head down and start pushing the wood, and then they just drop it straight down. It would hit the liquefied shit bucket. Shit would spray everywhere. It would smell like a 1,000 Samoans farted on my head, and then I would stop the saw and look around. Like, what the fuck happened? And nobody was around. And I was standing by the side of the building. It was just 5 stories of brick. I didn't lay down on my back and look straight up. And I'd go, what the fuck happened? I'd fire up the saw again and start doing it. I couldn't hear anything. And they'd drop it right into the shit bucket again.
Wow.
Yeah. Shear anchor or tension anchor?
Well, you've ruined
Dawson.
Seinfeld for me.
Now we got to see the beginning of Seinfeld.
Even Michael Richards didn't ruin it, but you have.
The beginning of Seinfeld with the fucking shear anchors on the side of that brick facade, which I was like, filmed in L.A., not in New York.
Jerry's apartment.
Everything is, I don't believe anything that's happening now because you guys claim to live in Jerry's apartment in Manhattan somewhere, Brooklyn or wherever you are. No way. They don't have those anchors there. That and the beginning of Modern Marvels where they put the crescent wrench on the nut and they turn it and it makes the ratchet sound. Like that's a crescent wrench. So TV's officially ruined for me. All right. Now you will see.
We're looking at a picture.
Yes.
That's
and
the
we will
building.
they will supersize it for you. And you see all those. No, not over there. Yeah. The thing I discussed.
Is it those on the right building on the right? Those
it's the 6-inch squares that are ubiquitous and everywhere. Okay. Well, what people started doing...
Oh, those things.
Those things. You see them fucking everywhere.
Yeah, I see those things everywhere.
Some gay...
Why don't you describe that thing?
Some gay contractor decided, well, why do we have to make them square? Why don't we just turn them up and we'll make a diamond shape and it'll give it a better aesthetic look.
Yeah, it looks better.
It goes around the building. It goes every floor. Every floor has...
I know what those things are. You should really work on your descriptions.
Yeah, there's a function for those.
But tell me you've seen those things before.
Those things I've seen.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes, I've seen those.
I've seen those things.
6-inch by 6-inch square plates all around the side of the building that nobody...
see it in wood shop. I don't know what
you've all seen 200,000 times, but nobody knew what I was talking about?
Yeah.
Well, the windows are like right there too, and I'm looking at those more like
when you're walking. All right, now we got to see the beginning of Seinfeld. I got. Oh wait, is Scott online? Is Scott still up?
Yeah, it's just any shot of Jerry's apartment.
Scott. His didn't look that good anyway.
No.
Found an old fridge, had some meat in it. Yada yada yada.
Yeah. No dead rooster in that story.
Seinfeld would say. All right, and are they shear anchors? Our next guest would probably know.
Yeah.
So then we give it to the first caller, right?
Yeah.
Is there like a title? Is there something they win
For today, yeah. But we've had higher scores, but
an old can of tuna fish? Like,
Yeah. No, we give him
what do they
that
get?
thing, the DB who makes the pick six in the college
medallion.
game. It
Gets
gets
the
to go.
medallion.
The turnover
That thing.
chain.
The turnover chain.
Yeah.
Hobo Power. Smell you later.
All right, we have a very interesting woman who's going to join us in the next break, and the beginning of Seinfeld as well. It's just the beginning of Seinfeld.
As long
It's
as you play
findable.
the bass line. Hey, you said your son is trying to learn how to play bass, right?
Yes.
Beginning the transitions from Seinfeld.
No, you're right.
Oh.
If he can do that,
he'd join you in your act.
All right, quick break. Right back with Nora Spencer right after this.
It's time for Nicaraguan Name That Movie with Adam's buddy Oswaldo. See if you can guess which movie this famous line is from.
Pain don't hurt.
If you said Roadhouse,
Pain don't hurt.
you're correct. Now, back to the show.
But that's because I've seen it 127
I was like,
times.
I think he's saying pain don't hurt, but there's no way he's saying that. So I got it, but I didn't get it.
Yeah, you question yourself.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way he's saying pain don't hurt.
Nora Spencer is joining us. She's a contractor and a social worker. She's got a nonprofit. I'm very much interested in your nonprofit, Hope Renovations. And you basically take women and teach them a skill and then set them out in the world to apply their trade. Right, Nora?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
I love it. I'm a huge proponent of trades and skills. All the people who remained sane during COVID were all the guys who worked, and girls and gals and theys who worked with their hands, and then the ones who sat in the cubicles and watched CNN all day all went batshit crazy. So there's something about working with your hands that keeps you like literally grounded.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. That's the message that we're trying to put out there. You know, for a long time, the trades haven't been cool, and we're trying to make it cool again. So.
And there's
it seemed, and that's such a like a microcosm of the problem right there. It's like, oh, trades haven't been cool. It's like, what's not cool about being able to fix stuff? Because everyone wants to know a guy or a girl that can fix
Yeah, you
stuff.
want to know what's uncool is me asking people, okay, can you fix this for me? Because I have no idea what I'm
me
doing.
walking next door and being like, is there a man out there that can help me? That can do something that is traditionally men's work? Can you do something for me?
By the way, Nora was a finalist in 2022 CNN's Hero
Love it.
Awards. But tell me about your backstory and sort of what brought you into this. And then also tell me the difference between a shear anchor and a tension anchor.
Okay, I'm going to start with my background. So corporate HR, most of my career, actually started out in journalism way back. Then went into corporate human resources, mostly doing recruiting. I worked for Lowe's corporate headquarters, and that's where I first started getting my hands on tools just because we had a good employee discount. And my husband and I bought a home, and I was too cheap to pay people to do things that I thought I could figure out how to do myself.
Yeah.
And over time, I just picked up more and more tools and tried more and more things and did some renovations kind of as a side hustle. But I never saw other women doing it. That bothered me. And what bothered me even more was that women that I knew, friends and just women that I would meet would say things like, oh God, I love that you know how to do that. I could never do that. And of course you can, but it really bothered me that that's what we think.
Yeah.
And I just started thinking, why do we think that? And later in life, I decided to go back and get a master's in social work. And I thought, hey, this is a good opportunity for me to put all that together and do, some empowerment of people who really need to be in this industry because we just don't have enough workers doing this stuff. And in the meanwhile, help women get these great jobs that pay living wages and they can actually support their families with them.
And now when we're living in the time of YouTube, where it's like now when you say, well, I can't do that. How would I ever learn how to do that? It's like, well, type it in.
Yeah.
Type anything. I can't tell you how many products that I have that when they break, I type in the specific product going, oh, they won't have the video on how to fix this specific. Yes, they do.
My dishwasher.
That dishwasher, that thing, they have it.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that's how I taught myself was YouTube, and I would hire contractors and I'd follow them around and ask them to show me how to do stuff, which they were always happy to do. They were really excited.
They love it.
Yeah, they love it.
I used to love being followed around by the homeowner while I was working at people's house. We love it. How's my ass crack looking today, Toots? Looking good? All right.
It's different when you're asking how to do something, because then, they get excited because they get to teach.
So I think I'll tell you where the problem started. The problem started, and by the way, only 4% of women are in construction workers. And I totally agree. In this world where women can do anything, we're not encouraging them enough. There's a bunch of stuff. I've been screaming about it ever since I had a microphone in front of my face. We went hard into this, like, music, schools, music. We need to bring music programs. We need funding for music. You don't fucking need kids learning how to play the goddamn oboe in the 9th grade. Yeah, but it opens them up. They need a trade. Many aren't going to college. They need to learn a skill.
I need someone to build my oboe.
Yes. So that we got completely away from shop class and trades and training, vocational training, into some sort of fakakta appreciation for music and modern art and all sorts of bullshit that doesn't make a difference once you get out of school. Number one. Number two, a bunch of people decided you need to go to college. Remember, you're going to be the first person in this family to go to college.
It's a big deal.
You're going to be successful. You're going to go to college. So we made this hard push for college. Well, what's the opposite of college? It's going to work for your uncle who's a plumber out of high school. That's the opposite of college.
But you got to go to college and major in communications.
Right.
There's so many jobs.
Do you want to work for your uncle?
You get that. What you want? You get that Chicano studies degree, and you'll be on Easy Street as soon as you leave. Right. So we pushed a bunch of people to go into college. Mm-hmm. Those people probably didn't have any business in college.
Right.
Then they took a bunch of fakakta majors that don't have any application outside of, I was going to say, the only application it has is if you'd like to go back to that college and rot there teaching your stupid major that has no application.
When you look at the Forbes top 50 earners of the past year, it's always art history majors. And so many art history majors are in the Forbes top 100.
And then we started saying, you don't study, you're going to be a ditch digger, which basically implies you're on a construction site doing manual work. And so we stigmatized it and we got away from it. And even now you hear all these politicians like, let those guys trying to build the XL pipeline, let them learn to code. It's like, these guys make $120 an hour working a TIG welder. Why should they, in their 50s, why should they learn to code? We're always going to need bridges. We're always going to need pipelines. We're always going to need infrastructure. Housing is always a big issue. We don't have enough housing.
Yeah, great. Like one of the big trends is flipping houses. You want to know how you can make a lot of money flipping houses? If you do the work and not you pay someone else to do it.
So let's start. But it's cultural elitist academics and politicians that are beating this drum of needing to get people into colleges and off of jobs. It's looked at as beneath you to go do real work for a day. Meanwhile, those guys are the happiest, most sort of centered people, and a lot of them make good money.
They do. Yeah. I mean, journeyman level, which is the first level after you get out of an apprenticeship, the average salary is $60,000 to $90,000. So, and I don't know about y'all, but I don't know any plumbers that don't have a second home or vacation home. So, and the majority of women who come into our program, they're what we call re-careering. So we've had a lot of college graduates and they went out and they tried it and, in their early to mid 30s, they're still making not enough money to support their families. And they kind of come to this realization that, oh gosh, there's, I'm good with my hands and there's this whole industry with really well-paying jobs and good, stable careers. And let me give this a crack.
Yeah. And there is something philosophical and beyond, which is when you have a job where you can't really prove what you've done all day, like if you're just a barista at Starbucks, you've just been filling cups
I'm
endlessly.
in data entry.
Or you've just
Okay,
been
when you
entering
take
data.
a step back,
Right.
What did you make? What difference did you make?
There's something
It's tough
that
to
the
tell.
human mind needs, and all job sites are all broken off into these pieces. Like, all right, we're going to get the garage framed, and we'll get it framed today. And then the plumbers are like, we're going to rough it out. We're going to rough out the electrician's going to rough it out. We're going to sheathe the roof, nail off the roof, by the end of the week or whatever it is. You break everything off into these like mini goals. Because you never really walk onto a job site and go, what's up? I don't know what we're doing. It's always like you pick up from where you left off. So it's like if the roof was half sheathed on a Friday afternoon when you knocked off, you're like, we want to get it done before lunch on Monday. And so you just show up and you kind of hit the ground running, and it just kept your mind in a good place.
And also the people that build stuff like this, and you guys all know this working with Adam, the people that build the thing never stop bragging about the thing that they built.
I built this goddamn studio, son.
Yeah.
So don't tell me about bragging.
Exactly. No, you never walk in and be like, that data entry, I did that.
That's right.
There's no point of pride. We have a pergola in our backyard, and everyone that comes has to be told that my wife built the pergola, because she did. We were going to have a pergola building party, and then she was just like bored one day, and she went out and got a case of beer. She drank the beer, she built the pergola, and it's in our backyard right now. And everyone who comes over gets told that. My wife's a badass.
Awesome.
Wow.
I love your wife.
Yeah, I'm
she
a fan.
needs to come work for me.
Yeah. Let's do it.
So who would be the typical recipient of the work that you do? Who's the typical woman who shows up?
Yeah, there's not a typical woman, to be honest. We don't have an age limit, so we've had trainees who are 20 years old, and we've had a 63-year-old woman come through our program.
Love that.
I'd say what they all have in common is they are underemployed or unemployed. So, and underemployed can mean different things for different people. You've got like your traditionally underemployed folks who just kind of get stuck in the cycle of low-wage jobs like food service and retail, and just have a hard time getting out of that because they can't take the time away from those jobs to get any kind of, vocational training to get them into a better career. But then you've got folks, during the pandemic, we had people who were losing their jobs, who, we had a flight attendant who she got a severance from the airline that she worked for. She'd been there for 30 some years, and it was a bad severance. And when that severance was up, she was trying to figure out what her next step was. And now she's a project manager for a small home builder, and it's a great fit. So
is there a central location for you guys, or are you located all over the country?
One day, that's the plan. But right now, we're in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. And so we do work all around the Chapel Hill area. And the other side of what we do is the way that our trainees get their hands-on experience is I have a construction crew, and it's very non-traditional because there's no men on it. Mm-hmm. And we go out in the community and we do work for seniors who want to age in place. They want to grow old in their own homes, and they need repairs and renovations.
Yeah.
So that's how our trainees get their hands-on experience, is working with our crews doing that.
So that's win-win, because you help the seniors and they get the training.
Now, when you're teaching women the construction skills, are you also teaching them how to curse? Because I think that's a big part of it.
Catcall, too.
Yeah. Teach them how to catcall.
Honestly, most of them are really already good at that when they come to us.
Fantastic.
It's meant to be.
Nora, would you like to quiz me on any construction stuff to see if you can stump me?
Oh, wow.
I can buy you a couple of seconds, because we have a montage of the outside of the New York Seinfeld building, which definitely wasn't in New York. And it's been bothering me for 30 years now, where you can see the shear anchors.
Interesting. Okay.
Which they wouldn't have
So
in
what
New
is the
York.
difference between a shear anchor and a tension anchor?
I believe the tension anchor goes in the ground, and it's goes through the bottom plate when you're building when you're framing or you're building a shear wall. And I think the tension anchors are the ones on the outside of the the outside of the building.
Yeah, well, and the tension is up and down and shear is side to side. And so, yeah, they have different purposes.
It makes sense that the shear is the one that's outside the building. Ben is frantically looking for the Seinfeld building.
6.5 minute video of Seinfeld transitions. Everything's on YouTube. You don't. If after I'm done fixing my ice maker, I'll probably watch this too.
Yeah. All right. But you can already clearly see the shear anchors on the outside of what is supposed to be Jerry Seinfeld's brick building in New York City, but it is not. It's filmed in L.A. And there's one human being who was acutely aware of that the entire time this series ran. And thank God for you, Brad Williams, who got the behind the scenes on where the building was in Los Angeles. All right.
Nora's mind's about to be blown.
Yes.
And you could see on the side. Yeah. Okay.
There they are.
There they are.
Look at all those.
Yeah.
With that killer bass line going. This is great pod.
Yeah.
I don't even know at this point if Newman was his actual neighbor or that was a paid actor.
I don't know what to believe. Yeah.
Anyway, all right. We got it.
That is hilarious.
It bothered the shit out of me. I've never brought it up before. Thank God Brad is here.
Nora.
No
so
yes.
Wait, Nora's got to stump me.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'm not prepared. I haven't thought about this.
Start with any basics.
Well, how much construction have you done?
Tons.
Okay.
Yeah, do a job interview on him. Let's see if you would hire him for your team.
I could go a full bosom buddies Tom Hanks type move where I dressed in drag and showed up to try to get a job. You know, that's a sitcom there.
But then the guy would fall in love with you. There'd be a guy that has to fall in love with you.
Yeah, but I would fall in love with the young Mason chick too. Who
this is awkward.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the haircut for it.
That's true.
So, okay, well, here's a simple one. What gauge wire do you use in a kitchen to kitchen outlet?
This is you asked me an electrician's question.
Hey,
she does it all.
You weren't specific.
All right, I'll say 14 or 12.
It was 12. Good job.
I'm not an electrician. You're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to have weird plumbing questions. I never said I was an electrician.
Do plumbing.
We train folks in all.
All right. Well, I said 14 or 12.
I thought you said you were a master
Just be happy
carpenter.
that you got it.
I got it. I said 14, and then I said or 12. It's 12.
Yeah.
But the codes vary from city to city as well, too. Go ahead.
That's the National Electric Code, so that doesn't vary.
Oh, see? You're on it.
So,
well, I'm saying back when I did it, it could have been 14, but they always beef it up, and 12 would be more than 14 in the gauge department. It doesn't move the direction you think it moves.
To me, point Nora on that one. I mean,
I said 14 or 12, and I'm not an electrician.
Team Nora.
I'm the Ukrainian judge over here.
Right.
I'm saying Team Nora.
Go ahead.
Oh, so we're still going. Okay.
You asked me one wiring question. That's not a carpenter question.
Well, if you get that right, you'll get them all right.
All right.
Okay. So, let's see. What kind of carpentry have you done? Like,
all right. This is never going to work. You asked me any framing, finish, cabinetry.
What's a standard height for a doorknob?
Standard height.
Oh, that's a good one.
I think a standard height. Do you know the standard height for a door, Nora?
For a door?
Yeah.
So just 72 inches for door frame.
No.
Door frame? Oh.
No. That's 6 foot.
Put it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. So it's actually 80 inches.
80, right?
Yeah.
6'8".
Yeah.
Right. 80, 6'8". That's it. 80 inches, 6'8". That's that.
Yes.
That's door.
So
handles probably 32. I
use your standard of measurement as my height. How many Brad Williams?
How many black eyes have you got running toward a door?
So
be like 3/4 of a Brad Williams.
ADA. So I know a lot of ADA stuff.
Yeah.
That's my people.
Oh, it's got to be a little lower
so
then,
32
maybe.
inches is minimum for ADA.
All right.
There you
32.
go. 32.
Look
So
at that.
here's a question for you then. How wide does a doorway need to be for ADA?
36.
Actually, it's only 30.
No, it is not.
Aha! Team
Oh,
Nora!
no. Wait.
Team Nora!
Sorry, it's 32. It's not 30. It's 32.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
I'm
It is 32
right.
because- yeah, you're
I'm
right.
right.
You're
32 is just the magic number.
Wheelchairs are 30, and the door width has to be
32.
30.
Yes. All right.
Look at that.
I could work for you. Yeah, 36 is the minimum front door, exterior door.
That's in the
That's
Midwest.
36.
Trying to get through the door.
32 is for the disabilities.
Next, Nora
one's
will be
Brendan.
doing a 5-minute set at Flappers this weekend.
That's right.
We're going to do it.
All right,
Nora,
you got
we're
one,
gonna be,
you got
we're gonna
one
be
more?
in Raleigh in March, so you should come
Oh,
over
yeah.
Oh, really?
see us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We'll talk
Can I
door
come see you?
We'll talk door
Yeah, absolutely.
jams. Yeah. Anyone
You
can
should
buy
come
a
to
ticket.
our
Nora.
workshop and hang out.
Take the workshop.
I will go. All right. Any more trivia questions for me?
No, I mean, I'm
height.
a general contractor, so I don't actually know anything. I just know how to find stuff in code books. I have great staff that know everything. So,
Well, you're doing the Lord's work, man. I'm so into what you're doing, and it's the kind of thing that if politicians talked about it, they would always get my vote. If they just said, we have a bunch of people that have a choice between going to college or working at fast food places. We can talk all you want about the future and the super highways and the internet and the electric cars and all the shit you guys never stop talking about. People need houses. They need houses repaired, infrastructure. We're always going to have good paying jobs
You'll
for
always work.
these people,
Yeah.
and you'll always be busy. And if some politician, instead of their stupid future pie in the sky bullshit that they're always preaching, if they just got down to work and just said, these kids, they're in the inner city, they're not going to college, they can either sell drugs or work at the Chipotle, let's give them a skill. And by the way, some dignity and some pride that comes along with that skill.
I have a nephew. He was troubled. It wasn't looking like he was going to get a job. He wasn't motivated, anything. He took an auto shop class, fell in love with it, and now he's a mechanic, and he's got 4 brothers and sisters, and they're kind of in the same line as him. He's making the most money out of all of them because he's got that skill. He's got that trade, and we're all just so proud of him.
yeah, we see the same thing. I mean, one of our graduates came into us from a recovery program, and like, there's nothing more confidence building than putting power tools in your hands and running power tools. And and she's killing it now. She's out there. She's working for a construction company, and it's really changed her life. It's life-changing work, honestly.
Agreed. Hope Renovations, and you can learn more at hoperenovations.org. Thanks, Nora. And we'll
Thank you
see
so
you
much.
when we're in Raleigh. right?
Yes.
Yeah.
See you in North Carolina.
March
Sounds great.
3rd and 4th. Look at that. I'm plugging your dates.
That's
Nice.
right. Good night.
I'll be there.
No problem.
Thanks, Nora. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
y'all. Bye.
All right, let me hit Green Chef here. Want to kickstart that keto in the new year? Yeah, Green Chef makes it easier. And, it can be tough. People have to read a lot of labels and do a bunch of stuff. Not with Green Chef. Limited time Keto Kickoff 2023 keto recipes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Plus meal bundles, expanded menu. Choose from 30 recipes weekly with the option to mix and match from different diets in the same box without changing your plan. Vegan one day, keto the next, plus more customization than ever. Swap the protein in any meal and also add chicken or fish, and to select vegan and vegetarian recipes for added protein. Only meal kit that's carbon and plastic offset. I like the creamy Italian pork soup. That is the best. And it's good for you, too. It is Green Chef, right, Dawson?
Go to greenchef.com/Carolla60 and use code Carolla60 to get 60% off plus free shipping. That's greenchef.com/Carolla60 and use code Carolla60 to get 60% off plus free shipping. Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for eating well.
Now, I don't like to talk about myself on this program.
Just this one.
Yeah, we'll let
But
you.
the chick who studies the American with Disabilities handbook all day told me door jams were 30 inches, and I said that was incorrect.
Yeah, you got to call her out.
Yes.
Ask
I
questions.
still get a lot of people ask me, what do you know? How do you know? What do you know?
This is just one of those rare times when you were right.
One of those rare times, you know. Wire gauge that's a deep cut. I still got half a point on that one, but that's a fucking electrician's question about
All
gauge.
I know is that I would hire Nora.
All right, Ben, are those shear anchors on the outside of that building? You got to look. I am so glad you studied
Let's just call
that
Jerry
handbook.
and get to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
Where is that Seinfeld? It must be
I don't know
Koreatown or something.
It says LA, yeah.
What's that?
It says LA. I'll find out the specifics, though.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's take ourselves a break, get to some news with Brad right after this. Brad Williams got dates coming up all over the place. He's a working comic, and you can go to bradwilliamscomedy.com.
Playing theaters this year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Welcome.
we're making the move into theaters. We got some theaters coming up in Madison and Minneapolis and the Wilbur Theater in Boston, the Sony Theater in New York City. So yeah, we're doing some theaters this year.
Hell yeah.
Wilbur's great. Minneapolis Varsity? I don't know what theater
I'm
that
not
is.
sure. I haven't even posted it yet.
But good for you.
Yeah,
breaking.
man.
Good for Brad.
Breaking. And that special is the Daddy Issues special, and it was filmed at the Alex Theater. And what's really cool, and it's one of those little moments where you like to reflect, when you fly out of the Burbank Airport, they have a picture of the Alex Theater there that's inside the airport as you walk into the gate. So I walk to the gate, I stop, I look at that theater, go, fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
Filmed a special there.
Hell yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have those moments.
And I encourage everybody to watch that special. I was there at that taping. I actually was in the audience.
Were you there?
Yeah, dude. I was there. The place was electric.
I did
Laughed,
not know
cried.
that.
Yeah, man. I
did
went.
not know.
I had to.
How
go.
have I known you this long and I didn't know that you were in the audience for that
Surprise.
special?
Yeah,
Wow.
I was there. Had a blast. And,
That was
definitely
cool.
translated to the special too.
I got my own Burbank Airport story. When I would get on right above Southwest was a big picture of Jimmy Kimmel that said Jimmy Kimmel Live. And as I was heading to Idaho for a few scraps, I would say, that guy used to return my calls and then proudly get onto the airplane.
You're in the C group of boarding that.
That's right. As I was
good
standing
day.
in the C group with all the fucked up dregs of society trying to chase a nickel in parts unknown, I would look up and see a big color picture of Jimmy.
Yeah.
Right there at the Southwest Airlines.
He's smiling. It's as if he was laughing at you.
That's right.
Adam Dunkelman Carolla. That's what. Oh, I'm sorry, Brian. You caught a stray there. I apologize to you.
Drive by.
All right.
When you drink, Brad, does alcohol affect you different? Like, are you a cheap
Oh,
date?
I get drunk quick.
You
I
get
get drunk
drunk,
so
yeah.
quick. One of my nicknames is Two Beer Brad, and that is insanely accurate. But I get drunk quickly, which is cheaper. But at the same time, I also know my limit very much. Like, as an adult, I go, all right, I'm going out. I'm gonna have my one whiskey cocktail. And I'm good.
And you're good.
That's what I have.
It's
I have
the
my
same rules that apply to Andre the Giant. You know, they'd always go, he could drink 2 cases of beer, you know?
Yeah. But he knew 2 cases.
But it also, if you get pulled over, you're not allowed to say, I only had 1 beer. I
Cannot
can
say
say
that.
I only had 1
Yes.
beer. That's not going to fly because it's a whole body weight mass index thing, and it's alcohol per
Yes.
weight and whatever.
One thing I've noticed too, because this has happened to me, where I got pulled over after a show. Never tell them, because I was thinking, oh, maybe if I tell them I'm a comedian, maybe they know who I am. They'll say, hey, crack a joke, and then I do, and then I get no ticket. As soon as you tell them I'm a comedian, they go, step out of the car, because they assume you've been drinking. I had not that night, so I passed all the tests. But he kept repeating, "You're a comedian." Like, Trent, like,
Stop
So
saying
you
it.
you
would-
should be drunk.
You would have to, if I got pulled over
Yes.
and I smelled a beer,
Yes.
I would tell the guy I've only had 1 beer at the club.
Yes.
But you would have to convince him you had a quarter beer.
Yes.
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
I had a shot glass full of beer because I knew I was driving.
building a gazebo with my shrew of a wife,
Yeah.
and I had half a beer, and that was yesterday. All right, Koreatown is where Seinfeld's apartments building is, which makes perfect sense because the apartment building I told you about was in Koreatown. That's the one
that.
I was retrofitting.
Validated.
Okay, so you were
there's
right
style out
twice.
there. Yeah.
Yes.
That's-
And
You get 2.
now are they sheer anchors? Ben. That's the key. The
I'll
next
figure that
question. All right.
All right. Well, Brad, I'm surprised you came out to Glendale right now. Speaking of getting pulled over, because we have a case of a dude with crazy road rage going around the city right now. So, yeah, he drives a Tesla with no plates, and there's videos of him. There's multiple videos of him where he would just get out of the car and harass whoever's in the car. There's a video of him with a pipe and just smashing another car that's like in traffic on the 2 freeway.
Now, is this he's in a Tesla and he's smashing people because they're in gas guzzlers? Because this sounds like he's
just a rageful guy.
Watch this video right here. So he's gonna get out of the car and just charge over. And of course, the guy in the car behind him is already filming it because this is crazy enough. He wears a face mask. With a metal pipe. Yeah. So and just banging the car and just yelling at him in the middle of traffic. You wouldn't like this guy, Adam, because he doesn't always pull over to the side. They'll stop traffic for this, and ruining Priuses. That's a Prius car, I can tell.
Honking at
they honk at him, they cut him off, and people don't know what to do. Like they're like, some lady's like, I thought he was going to pull me out of the car. Another guy's like, I don't know if I should have pinned him with my car to stop him from doing anything.
Mike August would have fixed this guy's fucking wagon. That much I can promise you. Number one,
the fact that he gets out wearing the mask. To me, it's like, it's like the old tale that gang members would drive around with their lights off, and then
if you
flash them, that's how they know to take you out.
It's like initiation.
He's looking for it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he is.
But good news for Elon Musk, as I've said, because Tesla was very boutique-y, and only Rob Schneider had one, 12 years ago, and it was like certain celebrities had them. And at a certain point, you get into mainstream. And mainstream it's just your car. It's not a Tesla anymore. There's no statements being made. You're not some Santa Monica tree-hugging bitch. You're just a Tesla. You know what I mean?
Just Tesla.
And when the guy who drives a Tesla is into the road rage, then you're just ubiquitous now. Like the first time about 2 years ago, I saw a guy smoking in a Tesla, and I'm like, Tesla, you've arrived.
Good sign.
He's an Armenian guy. We're in Glendale. He's sitting in his Tesla. For the first 14 years of Tesla, you've never seen a human being smoke inside a Tesla because that was a certain kind of person who would have bought a Tesla, and that kind of person would have never been a smoker or smoked in a car. When you have smokers in Teslas, that just means you're selling Teslas like you're selling cars, Ford pickup trucks at this point.
Yeah.
So good on you, Elon.
Have you ever gone the Uber Tesla yet? Like I
have.
Yeah, I've ordered Ubers, and a Tesla will pull up. It's awesome.
I have. It was great. I remember he drove me to the airport. And he said, "You ever been in a Tesla before?" I go, "Yes." And then, but I go, "But the one I was in didn't have the auto drive function." He goes, "You want to do it?"
Wow.
And I go, "Yeah,
yeah, of course."
And we were on the 405 South. It was like 4:30 in the morning to catch a 6 a.m. flight, so it's wide open. And he goes, "All right," and he clicks on the autopilot. And he puts his hands behind his head.
Wow.
And the thing just steered, and it was great.
Wow.
It was awesome.
That's a good way to showcase. He should work for Tesla.
I think that may be gay code.
Put the hand behind the head,
punched in the autopilot, recline the seat, pull his cock out.
Hey, Brad, why don't you hop up shotgun?
Why don't you scurry up front, boy?
You know what? He was hard. So maybe that was. Sorry, buddy.
Listen, there's gay code, and that could be the Tesla autopilot at 4:30 in the morning. Could be as gay codey as you get.
It does sound like a maneuver. Like, hey, have you had the Dirty Sanchez? No, but I've had the Tesla autopilot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow, that's a status symbol.
Best I could tell from being picked up by gays, the only code I was able to figure out is when they're driving you, they go, "You want to get high?" That's gay code because you have to go, "Yeah." And then the guy goes, "My apartment's right." Like, next thing you know, you're in the apartment with the dude.
Oh, okay.
I think that may be gay code.
Oh, interesting.
I don't
they
get
normally
gay
just
code.
they normally just pick me up, take me somewhere, and fuck me.
Oh, that's what they do.
Gay code.
Yeah, that's the only code I've experienced.
I remember I was in Miami, and it was after everything closed, and we were just getting pizza because all the pizza places are open late there, and a guy comes up, and he's like, "Hey, you want to party?"
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I thought, oh my God, this guy wants to. I'm like, telling the guys, you gotta go to this guy's house. He wants to party and like get beers and pizza and hang.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to do it. And then like 10 seconds later, he's like, so are we gonna fuck or what?
Right.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. That's what I had no idea. Completely oblivious.
Code.
It's all the code. Oh, by the way, CHP is still investigating this Tesla guy. I have not found him because he doesn't have the plates, and they just can't find him. So they don't know who he is. So he's still on the prowl.
All right.
Yeah, some places have serial killers. We have road rage guy.
I'll take it.
All right. Also, the world's oldest person just died at the age of 118.
Wow.
She's a French nun, Sister
Wow.
Andre. Yeah, so born in 1904. Before becoming this may have contributed to her longevity. Is before becoming a Catholic nun, she looked after children during World War II, and then spent 28 years caring for orphans and the elderly people at a hospital.
Well, we'll see her in hell.
She looks like Mother Teresa.
Saved up some karma there.
Yeah, so she became the world's oldest person last April.
Do you want this life at 118? I think she roughly, at 118, she probably nearly exactly doubled the life of Lemmy from Motorhead.
Yeah.
But I'm still going Lemmy's life. You know what I mean?
It's
Booze,
rich. It's more
BO,
rich.
bitches.
Yeah.
All the B's, you know what I mean?
All the B's.
Yeah, because it's like, so if your dad makes it to 118, what has he done?
I always say he's a Ford Pinto that was put up on blocks in the garage, and
Just
you go,
stuck around.
this is a shitty car model with 0 mileage on it.
Yeah.
But I would rather get a Lamborghini and drive it hard and just blow up the motor.
Yeah.
I don't know. Lemmy, I don't know, 62. I don't know when he died, but he was probably around half. She doubled his time.
Yeah.
But she didn't see a million faces and rock them all. She took care of kids that nobody wanted.
70. Lemmy made it to 70.
Wow.
Holy shit.
118. She probably literally saw a million faces.
Yeah. That is
just because of people coming into her life
passerby.
and then dying. Like, yeah, she's probably literally seen a million faces. Not to show you.
You know what you need? You know, be a better way to go through life instead of this really slow, arduous, sort of linear thing. Like, well, you're 15, then you're 16, or you're 89, then you're 90. You know, because she starts off in 1904. I mean, the automobile's just been invented. The fucking Wright brothers barely got off the ground.
Right.
I don't even know. 1904. I don't even know if the Wright brothers. Yeah, probably the Wright brothers got off the ground. But the Wright brothers get off the ground, and the way they got to steer their airplane is by laying on it and twisting the wing.
Weight.
Like literally. Then no one invented a aileron. And, you know, now Tom Cruise is going Mach 10 in his Superjet and everything. And she saw that. She saw the Wright brothers and she saw Tom Cruise.
She literally saw the Wright brothers and then saw Top Gun Maverick.
Right. In her life.
Yeah.
In her life.
Yeah.
But it was always a very slow transition to the next year. And so the airplane went from the Wright brothers laying on their belly, bending the wing. I don't know. What year was that, Ben? Was that in 1899 or something? 1904 feels early, you know,
Bring up a museum from Kitty Hawk.
And then at some point she sees the biplane with the motor and the engine in the front, you know. 1903. God, I'm good. First flight.
We'll give that one to you, too.
So she's born when the Wright brothers are out there. And then at some point it's World War II and it's Messerschmitts and Spitfires and B-17s and stuff. And now it's Tom Cruise. But it was always just a day, the next day, the next day. A life would be much more interesting if you could hop ahead, have your mind blown, and then go back to 11 and ride it out for a few more years and then pop. Because if she was sitting around looking at biplanes and the Wright brothers and then popped ahead to the Concorde and F-18s and supersonic stealth, whatever, she'd have her mind blown for the day, and then she could go back to the horse and buggy and no stoplight.
I mean, and you don't have to go that far. I feel like you could do that just with iPhones.
Yeah.
Like, remember the first iPhone and all it did, which wasn't a lot?
There's no buttons.
Yeah, and then show us this iPhone and be like, whoa, it's going to do that?
Yeah, you skip ahead 9 years or something.
Yeah.
Just calibrate them.
Yeah. But the problem with life is it's so linear and so slow that nothing is
gradual.
that impressive.
Right.
And it's like that. Now you got the iPhone 14 and you got your beef. You know, there's a problem. It doesn't do this as good. It's there. You could jump ahead, find cures for things.
Right.
Commercial travel in general. I mean, she was on a steam train.
Once you can have your iPhone, take a picture of the person you're about to sleep with genitals, and it says if they have any STDs or not. It's coming, baby. It's coming. Once you can do that, then go back to this time, be like, no, just wait around for 4 more iPhones, bro.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy.
Yeah. So all we need is a time machine.
That's right.
That's it.
But the time machine, the rule for the time machine is that it can't go further out than you would have made it. There's no fucking jumping ahead 200 years for life in the future.
Yeah.
Your time machine rules are
20 years.
We can go ahead, and it'd be funny. Like I'd punch in 2031 in the time machine,
sorry.
Oh, no. What's happening
Is
to
that
me?
Tesla guy going to get me?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. you put a drop of your blood in, and they go, all right, let's go to 2030.
Oh boy,
no.
If you were doing your time machine
Shit
calibration thing, would you start with a lofty goal? Like, I'm going 2075 and slowly work your way down, or would you freak yourself out by just going up a year from this year?
2040, 2041, 2042. Yeah, I would say lofty goal. Am I going to hit 2070? And then come on.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Let's get to living.
I wouldn't want to know. That'd destroy me.
I would definitely be down with a time machine that would not exceed your lifespan. That's the rules for my time machine.
You're coming up with a few inventions. This year. Now, this one can't happen in the world of science currently, but
you don't know what Elon's up there.
In the tunnels under Glendale, whatever they built.
But my transvestite is eminently doable.
Totally solid. And if we had a time machine, we could see it's well in use already.
That's my legacy.
But here's why there's no time machine. We would know.
Someone would jump ahead.
We would, we'd find out.
Someone would come back.
Time machine.
Exactly.
All right. What else we got?
Spoiler alert, Dawson. Jeez.
Yeah, jeez, man.
Sorry.
All right. Well, here I have an update on that taqueria shooter in Houston. Remember how the guy who did you see this?
Wait, okay. When you say taqueria shooter, to me,
more gay code.
I feel like you're about to tell me this fantastic invention that's like a Nerf gun for tacos.
Oh yeah,
that's what I want you to say. No,
that's
it's
invention, Doss. Another one.
Yeah, it's a taqueria shooter.
They made
it's like a Gatling gun.
Taquitos just flying at you.
But it just fires out Al Carbone the whole time. That'd be amazing.
They made the salad shooter for a while.
Salad shooter
but
now.
Nobody wants a salad.
What was the salad shooter? I don't remember.
The salad shooter was exactly as described.
God.
It's just like a gun, and you just put like a head of lettuce in the top of it, and it would shot yourself a salad out.
I think they had a great jingle, too. We'll find it.
Yeah, the salad shooter was solid, but no one wanted a salad.
I'm glad I've lived to the day. Now there's at some sporting events, they have hot dog cannons. Like you heard of the T-shirt cannon. They have hot dog cannons. They have the Gatling gun T-shirt cannon that fires like 50 of those sumbitches out. That's pretty great. That's what I was hoping the taqueria shooter would be.
Well, the taqueria shooter, I mean, I've been watching Jack in the Box commercials, and they got their mini tacos now.
Yeah.
That's perfect ammo for a taco shooter.
Absolutely. They have a spud gun, all our college kids, the deaf frat
guy has a potato gun.
Yeah, he's got the spud gun. Someone get on it.
Yeah,
give me a taco shooter.
We need more projectile foods.
We'll get the salad shooter at least worked out.
Get the jingle.
All right, I want to hear this.
Salad shooter.
Oh.
Helps you every day.
How about some cheese for your pizza or perfect salad shooter hash browns for breakfast? Vegetables sliced or shredded, and nothing tops a salad like salad shooter.
Point and shoot to help you every day.
Presto Salad Shooter Electric Slicer Shredder. So you can fill an omelet, slice a beet, make a soup, top a treat. Clean up easy, dishwasher safe, stores anywhere.
Salad shooter. Helps you every day.
Original and professional salad shooter.
Yeah.
Wait, professional?
Oh, yeah.
What's the difference?
All the Michelin-rated guys have their salad shooter with them.
I don't like to go amateur.
If you're showing up for a job at like Tavern on the Green or some high-end Michelin-rated place, you bring your salad shooter.
Do not bring the consumer version
Let
either.
them know that fucking knife you got with the deer antler handle, that's chicken shit. Show up with that salad shooter. They'll
That's
know
what
you
I
mean
would do
business.
if I ever get into the French Laundry. I'll be like, sure, this is the French Laundry, but do you have a salad shooter?
Obviously they do, but it's the professional grade
it's the
one.
professional grade.
Yeah, everyone brings in their own knives and
Every single one of
tools.
these commercials that sounds insane, about halfway in I go, I could use one of those.
I want one, yes. I mean, it's called the salad shooter. The first three things they showed is like pizza.
The
Use it on your
salad
pasta, use it on
shooter
your cake.
people knew they weren't going to attract any ants with salt. You know, you can't
Right.
just talk about veggies. You got to talk about shooting hash browns.
Yeah. If you want to you want to slice a sausage and throw it on your own pizza?
Right.
Salad
Shooter.
Yeah.
Would you like to eat lard out of a bucket?
Salad shooter. Yeah.
Do you like churros that are chained churros, like sausages connected so that you can eat more than 15 at a time?
Salad shooter. Yeah, that's what they
Gene
did.
chili butter by the stick. Two-fisted butter sticking.
Do you want to put butter chips on your pancakes? Salad shooter. Yeah.
Do you classify ketchup as a vegetable? Salad shooter. Yeah, they know they got a bunch of fat asses sitting at home who aren't interested in kale.
Who's the guy that does the porn tape that you love?
Bobby Hollander.
Bobby Hollander.
Hey, I'm Bobby Hollander.
Oh, it's spokesman for.
Do you want to put cum in different sections over your partner's face? We got the salad shooter, but it's for cum. That's right.
Slap 5 on your salad shooter.
Yeah, it's gonna blow your balls off, and then your balls are gonna be on your partner's face.
Salad shooter.
It chops the cum evenly, so you can spread it evenly all over your partner's face, or their tits, or their ass, whatever you want.
Salad shooter.
That's right. And then it's even endorsed by Ron Jeremy. He's in it.
Salad shooter. I'd get Peter North on this one.
That's very true. His loads are bigger.
That's right.
All right.
Semen shooter.
Oh. All right, one more. What are our choices?
Oh, well, we still have the taqueria guy.
The taqueria guy.
Yeah.
We went on a bit of a tangent there.
A little bit, yeah.
Tangent.
So that guy who shot the other guy robbing the taqueria killed him. This video right here. So,
okay.
A grand jury still weighing whether the shooter is going to face charges.
Salad
But
shooter.
there are a lot of community activists who are upset with the guy who shot the
Of
robber.
course, there always are.
Sure.
Yeah, so they're calling for this restaurant patron to.
Man, I can already tell what guy is going to make the shot because he's been telegraphing it the whole. Yeah,
there he is.
Okay.
Yeah, so
that's the guy.
right. So they said it went beyond self-defense. These people, they're like from like the new Black Panthers. There's like
Yeah.
they're
Well,
like,
they should shut the fuck up, number one. Look, you could swing a crowbar at a dude who honked the horn on the 405.
Yeah.
And you're probably not going to get shot. But if you do get shot, tough fucking shit.
Yeah.
That's my world. If you
That's
want to
on
walk
you.
into a taqueria and swing around a gun, a fake gun, that everyone thinks is a real gun. I think it was a fake gun. Then you may get shot by some fucking hillbilly who's packing. That's
But you
shit
said yourself,
happens.
9 times may have been a little excessive.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I talked to Garagos about it. They say he was leaving, but there was one more dude by the front door that he hadn't gotten to yet that he definitely could have swung the gun at. And so the guy who did the shooting, if you said to him, why did you need to do this? The guy was leaving. We don't know if he was leaving because he walked in and he went clockwise.
Yeah,
as
I
all
saw him
good
pace
criminals
a few
do.
times just in the video.
And went around to everyone, took everyone's wallet, but he missed the first dude because he couldn't see him when he walked in because he was on his immediate right. So, good. Well, here's the other thing, too. Fine. The guy's dead. Good. Fucking Darwin, take out the garbage. All this guy would have done is menace other Americans and had a life of criminality.
He had a big criminal history.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, good. He's dead.
So 2015,
Fuck right off.
Convicted of a lesser charge of aggravated robbery with a deadly weapon, sentenced to 15 years in prison in connection to the shooting death of a 62-year-old father of 3.
Oh, good.
Paroled
He's
in 2021.
Good.
Charged with assaulting his girlfriend.
He was turning it around, though.
Yeah, in December.
At the taqueria.
In December, he was charged with assaulting his girlfriend. But yeah, they're like these actors. Like he abused the corpse. Like he.
All right, fuck all you activists, whether it's criminal activists or it's homeless activists or whatever you claim to be an expert in that you fucking know nothing of. Shut the fuck up. This is my point. If you talk to anybody about when they cleaned up New York in the 90s, early 90s or whatever, they figured out what I've known for a million years. Crime is committed by less than 1% of the population. It's a small group who does a ton of crime.
Yeah.
They're not one and done. They're this guy. They're the rap sheet. You know, they're the thing. He pushed a woman onto the tracks and he'd been arrested 142 times. It's a small number of group-wise who is terrorizing everyone else. So whether you lock them up or fucking put 9 slugs in them, either way, problem solved. The notion of the revolving prison door is these people get out and this is what they do. It's a very small group of people that terrorize a large group of people, and you have to do shit with it. And if you go, oh, that's racist, tough shit. Whatever it is, whatever the race is of whoever's committing the crime, that's who you lock up. And if it's disproportionately, then go work on the problem, pussies.
Yeah.
And unless you think some cultures are genetically flawed that they have to commit more crime, perhaps it has something to do with the upbringing. That's all. So go look into it. But either way, Darwin has taken out the garbage on this guy.
Yeah.
Salad shooter.
Right. He fucking shot a 62-year-old. He terrorized his girlfriend. He menaces people. He's fucking dead now. Good. Not everybody's special.
Ride.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's enough. All right. Well, there we go.
All right. Brad Williams, by the way.
I'm still thinking of Steven Shooter.
Playing theaters now.
That's right.
Soon.
Playing theaters. He's so funny, he's going to blow your balls off.
Is it slap 5 on you? No.
Whip 5.
Whip 5.
Whip 5.
Whip 5 on yourself.
Go to Brad's shows and whip 5 on yourself.
Whip 5 on your wang wang.
That's right. You go find those dates. BradWilliamsComedy.com is where you go. I'm going to be in Dallas. We're all going to be in Dallas this weekend.
Hey.
And you can get a spot at AdamCarolla.com. John Popper's going to be there. He's playing all the hits. Chris is playing. Dawson's playing. We're all hanging out, meeting and greeting and having some drinks, doing some comedy.
You'll be hanging with Nora Spencer in Raleigh in a few weeks.
That's
It's going to be great.
right. You can go to Hope Renovations, hoperenovations.org. Until next time, it's Adam Carolla for Nora Spencer, Brad Williams, Chris Max Battis saying mahalo.